made it to Honors Geometry.
Congrats!
We just passed this class, so everyone in all of our peers is going to give you advice.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Have fun.
Have fun.
What's up, freshmen? Congrats on finishing middle school, and high school is going to be a nice journey for you. At times, it might be tough in geometry in particular. And for this class, you just need to study hard. And if you want to succeed, check your GPA a lot, and just don't forget to study because there's going to be lots of tests. And if you don't keep up with your studying and stuff, it's going to be hard for you guys. So just do what you got to do.
So now we're going to be talking about online resources in my MCPS classroom. So always use what your teachers give you, and that can include answer keys to packets, using online resources that they give to you on MCPS Classroom, and just looking at MCPS calendar every day because it's so organized. Yeah, and if you missed a day, you can look on the calendar and see what you missed that day and catch up and come to school prepared. And also remember that you'll be using Chromebooks almost every day in class, and you really need to remember to be responsible on the Chromebooks and get your work done and not go onto other websites, and because your teachers will be watching you and monitoring what you're doing. So.
This is going to be your first, maybe your first high school or honors class for math. So biggest thing I have to say that's different is you're going to need to focus all class long, because if you're not focused and you at the beginning or you miss one thing at all, that's probably going to affect the entire lesson for you, and you'll be confused the entire time because every piece of information is only given once in an honors class, so you got to be paying attention. Another thing I'd say, do extra practice. Homework is not enough for a lot of people, so make sure you're using a lot of the links on MCPS Classroom and using that to your benefit.
What up? Here's my advice for you for honors geometry. First, do your homework. Try to understand it because, help you in class. Second, if you don't get something, just go in for lunch. Third, ask questions. All the teachers here want you to succeed, so if you're completely confused, ask questions. The fourth, instead of saving your assignments till the very last night before they're due, in middle school we did, break them down so that if you don't understand something, you can go in and ask your teacher. And lastly, and most importantly, don't give up. You can make it through. We did.
Hello, I'm Caden, and I'm here to talk about my experiences from this school year. So the first thing is definitely the online work. Last year I had barely any of that, little to none, but this year I had plenty of that stuff. So if you had the same experience and you didn't have as much online work as I did, then expect a lot of that. Make sure you do it because that stuff is important. Same with studying, which is equally as important in my opinion. I'd say that studying is your key to actually doing tests and acing them. So make sure you go ahead and do those. All right.
Hi guys. Okay, so what you need to know for geometry is basic algebra. Remember how to solve for variables? And you need that. And then you make sure you bring in your correct supplies when your teacher tells you to, like a compass or a calculator. Yeah, because you need a graphing calculator for this class. They're most likely
right now if you don't have one.
They're most likely not going to lend you one or be happy with lending you one. So just just get one.
I know there's some of you out there that are like, I know how to do this. This is easy. I know stuff, right? That's not always the case. You won't be confused. Everyone's confused about something. Nobody can know how to do everything perfectly 100% of the time. So that's why there are people there. That's why there are people around you, like your classmates or your teachers. They can really help you. And you're pretty much going to need them in order to succeed in this class. So the bottom line is help yourself by asking others. Cool. All right. Good luck in this class.
Some advice that I have for the incoming students taking honors geometry is to always come to class prepared. Always make sure that you have your calculator, especially the night before a quiz or a test. Just double check to make sure it's in your backpack because it's really important. Something else I would say is really important is to always like make sure that you're understanding the information that's like being taught in class, because it's really easy to fall behind. And if you don't understand it and you like ask the teacher, but if you don't want to ask the teacher or you just still don't understand it, like go home and watch a Khan Academy video and just like get some extra practice and just make sure you get it before the next day, because a lot of what you do in this class, it's like you learn stuff based off of other stuff, like so it's really easy to fall behind and it's really hard to catch up.
So my advice to all people who will be taking honors geometry next year is that you need to learn how to study if you don't already. You also have to get into a habit of checking your email, because even if you don't have school, you'll be getting assignments and things to do. You also need to take every assignment seriously, because it can impact your grade even if it's just a 7-point formative. So always make sure you take things seriously in this.
Found geometry to be easier than algebra. That's not the case with you. It's okay. I'm a very visual person. If you are too, that's great. Geometry is very visual. I found it very useful to draw out problems when I was struggling with them. Like triangles, you can draw them out and it makes it a whole lot easier. I also found that geometry is a very hands-on concept. I mean, you're doing a lot of constructions, you're using tools, and you're utilizing your skills and building off of concepts that start out easy, but then they get progressively harder. Basically, practice. Practice is really good. If you have questions, be sure to ask your teacher, even if you may not know them very well. Go in for lunch, ask them. It's not too hard.
So one thing you should know is that most or some teachers don't like students using the phones while they're teaching. Another thing is that when you have trouble learning something new, don't hesitate at all. Just ask right away and they will help you. And throughout the year, I honestly think that honest geometry is actually fun. Like, we get to play fun games. We get to learn or go on new websites to help us study before a big unit test. And the teachers are super helpful if you have any trouble with like anything you're learning.
First thing of advice is to have friends in the class. Yeah, that will help you with your work. Like this one. Mm-hmm. Even though she helps me with so if you need help, just like text this person named Lance. He's really helpful. Like Lance is not gonna help them. He's not gonna help you guys, but find someone like Lance. Look, this is our text messages. Find you a man's like Lance. Mm-hmm. Oh, we have like second thing of advice. If you don't understand something, come in for lunch, because Miss Payne's actually... Oh, wait, no, not specific teachers. I mean, it doesn't matter because you guys have like a bunch of teachers this year, but Miss Payne is a great resource. Yeah, so coming in for lunch is really helpful for all your needs. Don't forget to do your Khan Academies, because they are most likely graded and they go in the project category. No, and they're like really helpful. Yeah, helpful. Yeah.
All right, I got some tips for you on how to survive honors geometry this year. So the major tip is when studying, you want to actually do the problems on paper, not just like look at it or like think you know how to do it. Actually do practice problems, because that will give you the best chance of like being successful on the quiz or test. And do the problems that she gives you, like all the resources she gives you to help study. Do them, do those problems, go in for lunch. She can check them. You can email her a picture of them and she'll check them and it'll help you. And you can ace all the tests and pass honor geometry with an A+.